You know what they say, sometimes bad things have to happen before good things can. After being injured on and off for the entire cross-country season, missing states by one spot, and being in a dark mental state for 3 months straight, I made sure that the next time I stepped on the line, I wouldn't be disappointed. And that's why I call this the best season of my life.
I'm caught up in my feelings for real. She said, yeah, I'ma be the one that she wanted, gotta call back. Yeah, I'm left alone in this world with nobody left to fall back. Yeah, I don't want a shawty that gon' tell me that she all that.
It all began when we stepped foot on the charter bus back home from regionals. Disconsolate, discouraged, and depressed. It felt surreal, and right when we got on, rain started pouring and splattering the windows. It would have been a great time to cry, but yeah. Anyways, 2 days after this traumatic event, I began base training for indoor track. I had never been so motivated in my life. I couldn't stop thinking about my next run all day at school, and my heart started pounding when the thought of indoor track even slid into my head. I longed for redemption so badly, I could barely sleep at night. I ended up building my base from late October to mid-November, and that's when indoor track began. It was showtime. We had our first race in 3 weeks, and I was in the best shape I'd been in since freshman year outdoor. The first invitational was Ed Bowie Classic. I was entered in the mile and 2 mile, which were both slow heats since I had no time. I won my mile heat in 4:45, and I came back to win my 2 mile heat in around 10:33, despite a gnarly rib cramp. I wasn't satisfied at all. I knew I could run a lot faster, and my eyes were already on the next race before I even got home from the meet. The Ed Bowie Classic was on a Saturday, and 3 days later I would come back to run at a league meet, AA versus Balt versus Moco. My 4:45 barely got me in the fast heat, but I hung in with a solid field. I stayed in the mix and finished hard, scoring a 4:38 and getting 6th place. My teammate Luca ran 4:31, and we would improve together throughout the course of the season. We were both very happy with our performances, and we knew that it was the beginning of something great. We had a relay invitational a couple weeks after this, but we were really focused on January. It was still early December, and we had the opportunity to get a good training block in. Luca and I would die together every single day in workouts, and he would always push me to my breaking point. I remember hitting countless track workouts and interval workouts and fartleks and hilly tempo runs with him. He would always beat me right at the end. The relay invite went fine. I think I split a 2:07 in the DMR and then a 56 in the 400 about 20 minutes after the DMR. There wasn't anyone around me in either race, so I didn't really care what I split. I was really just focused on my next chance to run the mile, and we kind of used this meet as a tune-up. Things were tightening up, and championship season was right around the corner. We had one more invitational, the Montgomery Invite, which was 4 days before counties. I was set to run the 1600 leg of the DMR, and I was excited. I wanted to hit a sub 4:36, which was the state qualifying time. Doing this would make me more confident for regionals. I got the stick in 3rd place, but behind me was John Riker, who was coming off a monster cross-country season with multiple sub-16 performances. I also wrote a diss track about him freshman year, and Luca and him were hanging out in the bullpen, and he kind of pointed to me saying, "Oh yeah, that's that kid who wrote the diss track." And then John Riker proceeded to glare at me, so the pressure was on. To be completely honest, I was scared shitless. When I got handed the baton, I was thinking, this kid's gonna leave me in the dust and there's nothing I can do about it. He passed me in the first 100 meters and the gap continued to grow. At about 400 meters left, the gap was about 50 meters. I felt like garbage during the race. I'm sure most of it was in my head. I didn't have much left, but I began to pick up the pace, and John Riker magically seemed to be coming back toward me. In my head, I was thinking, what the hell? Is Buddy saving for the last 200? I kept closing and was essentially right behind him at the bell. That's when I realized I could score a top 3 finish for our team. I passed him on the backstretch and didn't look back. I came to the home stretch thinking that this man was going to pass me and I would be the laughing stock of our team for the next week. But he never passed me. We finished 3rd and I split a 4:42, which really hurt my confidence, but I knew I had gutted out a tough race. Plus, MCPS had just announced that we had a snow day the next day, so I couldn't beat myself up too bad. Also, the medals were very, very tough. Counties was coming up and I had a pain in my shin. It was something I had dealt with throughout the season due to my training schedule. I would run 21 days straight and then shin pain would bother me, so I would be forced to take a day off. I was so committed to finally having a good season that I thought one rest day would ruin it all. I managed the pain and did strengthening exercises, and I was walking into the PG Sportsplex for counties before I knew it. I was in the fast heat, and I really wanted to redeem myself and go under the state qualifying time. I was only entered in the 1600, and the field went out pretty fast. I was basically in the back with my bro Ezra from Paint Branch, and we went through 800 in around 2:16. We were on great pace, but my legs were slowly turning into jello. Ezra passed me and I couldn't stay with him. I finished in around 4:36, which is only 2 seconds faster than what I ran a month ago. Regionals was 3 weeks away, and I tossed and turned in my sleep every night thinking about that race. I hadn't hit the state qualifying time yet, and the regionals race ate at me mentally. I didn't want a repeat of cross country, and I had never actually attempted to qualify for states in track.
On that cognac, they see me stunning when I'm rocking all black. But now you all that, I gotta fall back. She says she don't like the way that I talk back. All that I'ma pour it out to get my mind back on track. I've been sipping goose and tripping on Jack. Leave me alone, I don't need to hear you call back. I don't wanna see you catching me with you. I'm not here to make amends. Back then you used to be a 10, so tell me when it ends. I don't know this feeling I feel. I'ma pour it up a seal. I'ma roll it up for the hill. I'm caught up in my feelings for real. She said,